Good morning and welcome. We are so glad you're here. Whether you are joining us in person or online, we would like to get to know you and invite you to become an active participant of our faith community. To learn more, please stop by the welcome table in the foyer or fill out a visitor form on our website at www.unitytemple.org. We hope you'll join us for community hour on the patios following service or online. A link to Zoom community hour can be found in the chat. We look forward to getting to know you, and now please enjoy the service.
Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we?
Good morning. My name is Matthew Bruce. My pronouns are he, him, and I serve on your board of trustees. It's my pleasure to welcome you here this morning. If you are here for the first time, thank you for joining us. We look forward to getting to know you. This morning, we are live streaming our service with only the service participants present here in the sanctuary. After the storms yesterday, Unity Temple sustained some water and sewage backup damage, making it temporarily unsafe for large numbers of people to be in our building. We should be back to in-person services next week. Please look for updates by email over the course of this week. On behalf of the board and the congregation, I especially want to thank all of the people who responded this weekend to this emergency, both staff of Unity Temple, of the Unity Temple Restoration Foundation, and many volunteers, especially Dan Crimmins. Thank you so much for all you did yesterday and today to make the service possible, but also our response to the emergency. I also want to thank our lay-led service leaders today for pivoting rapidly to the changing situation this weekend. I want to thank the worship committee and the worship associates for putting on this lay-led service. We invite everyone present to join our online Zoom community time, which will happen right after the service. The link can be found in the e-beacon, but also in Saturday's email. Each week, we remind ourselves of our congregation's core values: connection, transformation, justice, and acceptance. Our mission is to embody these core values in our daily lives by welcoming all, inspiring compassion, nurturing wonder, and serving community. We are so glad you are with us today. We hope you find the service inspiring and meaningful. I invite you now to greet one another online. Our chalice is lit this morning by Judy Galletto Grace. Her favorite color is fuchsia. She enjoys nature, and she loves 10,000 villages. Please join me in our chalice lighting. We are Unitarian Universalists. We are the church of the open minds, the loving hearts, and the helping hands. We take care of the planet Earth and each other.
You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your life's journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here. Come, let us worship together. Please join us for the congregational song, I've Got Peace Like a River. It's number 100 in the gray hymnal. The words will be on your screen. We'll be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 6.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Please join me in the words of our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God.
My name is Jay Cohen. I'm one of your pastoral associates. This is the time in our service where we hold one another in our hearts and reflect on the joys and sorrows that have moved us throughout the week. Part of Unity Temple's mission is to inspire compassion, and we always want to be with one another and sit with one another in times of both joy and sorrow. If you'd ever like anything to be shared from the pulpit, please reach out to the pastoral associates or ministers anytime during the week. You can reach us all at one time at pastoralassociates@unitytemple.org or find one of us individually. This week, Vera Dowell shared some encouraging news about Dwayne and Vera's daughter-in-law, Robin Dowell. Robin's also the sister of Beth Dowell, a sister-in-law of Beth Dowell. Robin has pancreatic cancer and just came through a successful surgery. We wish Robin well as she recovers from the surgery, and we hold the whole family in our hearts. Lisa Aiken asked us to send out prayer for strength for her daughter, whose journey is currently rocky. Lisa has gratitude for her daughter's history of resilience, and we are all sending love and prayers to both Lisa and her daughter and the whole family. Let us always remember that violence touches the lives of many people, both within our community and outside our community. Every Sunday, we send out prayers for both victims and perpetrators. As we hold all of this in our hearts, as well as the joys and sorrows that we have not spoken, let's pause to have a moment of reflection and prayer. This is a modified reading by Donna Folds called Live This Day. Do not let the day slip through your fingers, but live it fully now. This breath, this moment, catapulting you into full awareness. Time is precious, minutes disappearing like water into sand unless you choose to pay attention. Since we never know the number of our days, let's be with this day now. Be that compassionate with yourself, that open and loving to others, that determined to give what is yours and to let in the energy and wonder of this world. Experience everything: reading, writing, relating, eating, doing all the necessary tasks of life as if for the first time. Push nothing aside as unimportant. We have received these reminders many times, but this time let's take it into our hearts. Let's be that compassionate with ourselves. Let's be with this day now. Blessed be.
From all that
Today's story for all ages is Maybe, a story about the endless potential in us all, written by Kobe Yamada and illustrated by Gabriela Baruch. Have you ever wondered why you are here? You are the only you there will ever be or ever has been. You have so much to offer. Maybe you will invent something that no one has ever seen before. Maybe you will build things that reach high into the sky. Your life is yours. Try as many things as you can try. See as much as you can see. Wherever you go, take your hopes, pack your dreams, and never forget, it is on journeys that discoveries are made. Maybe you will help others to see the beauty in each day. Or maybe you will lift cheering crowds onto their feet. Do everything with love, follow your heart, and see where it leads you. Maybe you are here to shine a light into places that have been dark for far too long. Maybe you will speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Maybe you are here to help in ways that only you can. There will be struggles, there will be fears, and it won't always be easy. At times, it'll feel really hard, and you might make a mess of things. You may fall down. You may fail. But you will also get back up, and you will rise a little stronger and a little taller, because there really is more inside you than you know. And this world needs your gifts, your talents, your big ideas. And maybe you are just getting started. What if you are only scratching the surface of what you can do and who you can be? What if you have talents you haven't discovered yet? There is something powerful, even magical about you. You already have everything it takes to do big things. Maybe you have no idea just how good you can really be. And maybe you don't know how much you matter. But maybe, just maybe, the world has been waiting centuries for someone exactly like you. One thing is for sure, you are here. And because you are here, anything is possible.
Find me open to new learning. May your words bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way. As you go your way in peace.
Unity Temple is beginning a model of having more lay-led services, not just in the summer, but throughout the year. And today is one of those services. In order to prepare people to do this, there's an 8-week seminar called Shared Pulpit, where we mostly focus on sermon writing. And Nina and I were part of that spring version of that seminar, and had a great experience, and this service was born out of that seminar. And there'll be another one coming in August. We'll be offering the Shared Pulpit Seminar again in August and hopefully continue to offer it on an ongoing basis. And we hope to have many people contributing to our lay-led services. Today's reading is from Teresa Soto. It's called The Life Slow and Precious. By virtue of being alive, you matter, and you cannot be more deserving of dignity, of respect, of love. Sometimes people make mistakes, but even that cannot change that you are meant to be festooned with the celebration of your humanity. If your progress is slow, your movement small, remember that you don't have to compete for compassion. You don't have to compare what you can observe of another's life to make sure that you measure up. You are definitely yourself. What is slow is also valuable. Some of the oldest seeds ever sprouted are narrow-leaved campion that grew, even though the seeds were 32,000 years old, more or less. They had to survive to be able to bloom, encased in ice, thawed, and brought to life. The most important thing is that you make it. No matter how imperceptible the movement, how long it takes to reach the best version of who you are, who you mean to be, you are irreplaceable. You are meant to live.
Don't put your eyes down, you're not to blame. I know there are stories you can't explain, but if I should find you black and blue and aching from crying, wait with you. Grow, grow, grow. And don't put your eyes down, you're not to blame. I know there are stories you can't explain.
Now I'm in my 40s. I've started to find it necessary to incorporate exercise into my daily life in a way I never had before. It was little things, back aches while washing dishes or cooking in the kitchen, my legs hurting after going for a walk. Then my body started waking me up at night, hurting so badly it forced me to get out of bed and pace. I had to change something. I just don't seem to be able to stay healthy anymore simply by continuing the routines that I developed over the first 40-some years of my life. Some of my issues are due to particular traumas that have happened to my body over the years, like a C-section for the birth of my first child. My core muscles have never been the same. A lifetime of habits have caused other kinds of slow-moving trauma too. Anyway, I started moderately exercising, and this has helped a lot. My body no longer wakes me up at night to pace. I can stand in the kitchen without getting pains. These new routines in my life have me wondering, what are my goals in this new activity? Am I aiming to stay about as healthy as I was, simply aiming to avoid the aches and pains the way that I was accustomed to living? Or on the other hand, am I aiming to be healthier than I was through those years? Lift heavier weights, run faster than I did when I was younger. This dilemma reflects a larger theological problem that I've wrestled with for years. I believe in scrutiny, in challenge, in the need to change, the need to uncover those faults in ourselves to strengthen our weak spots. It can be hard to look at those spots, especially hard to trace them back to root causes, to harms and trauma in our past that led to them. I don't know about you, but this desire to improve and effort at improving represent a significant part of my everyday inner life. I want to review, to pick apart my own motivations, to get at the bottom of them. I find I'm generally ready to believe that I did not do enough, that I was not good enough. There's always room to improve. And I also believe that part of spiritual wholeness means acknowledging and even embracing those parts of ourselves that we're not proud of. We should aim to hold our shadow sides with loving care. I am a whole person, and you are a whole person, and all of you matters. Both the parts of yourself that you hold to the light and the parts that you keep tucked away where you hope no one will see. All of who we are is worth loving. The whole thing, all of it. I believe that each one of us is a magical, wondrous being, And our flaws are not exceptions to that wonder, but are part of it. These beliefs are in tension with each other. You should keep reviewing, fixing, changing. Also, you are beautiful, just the way you are. What to do? Maybe this is merely a theoretical problem. I can certainly get through washing the dishes, making lunch, walking the dog, all the other tasks of daily life without resolving it. But on the other hand, this is a deep theological problem, and the more I can work out tangled knots of problems like these, the more clear I feel about and within myself. Some people rest content in and with the mystery, and I respect that, but it's not me. In logical terms, when faced with two incompatible claims, we must either choose to reject one of them or find a way to show that they are not incompatible after all. So, we could reject the claim that we are beautiful just as we are. The history of Western philosophy seems to suggest this, as do some strands of Christianity that emphasize human brokenness or sinfulness. Universalism, the idea that everyone is worthy, not because of anything they do, but simply by being, that idea has always been considered heresy. Or we could reject the other claim. We might say, everyone is fine. No one needs to reflect or try to improve. If we're already good enough just as we are, why try to change? I refuse both of these solutions. How could we reject some aspects of the self, even if we wanted to? It's not only the best part of ourselves that matter, it's the whole self. Trying to divide the self would be like trying to divide the earth from the sky. We all contain both lightness and dark. They're not opposites. Both are necessary and beautiful in their own ways. On the other hand, self-improvement is the work of my life. We are all on a journey throughout our lives. So that leaves me needing to find some way to reconcile two apparently incompatible ideas. My background and training is in philosophy. As someone with a doctorate in philosophy, that's where I look for answers to problems like these. However, this particular dilemma doesn't really show up in the Western European canon of my training. Though the idea that we all have equal value and inherent dignity is accepted from the Enlightenment on, it sits there next to theories of ethics that imply high, even unreachable standards. This dilemma I'm describing was not given the attention that I think it deserves, possibly because of the wider context of religion in Europe and how marginalized universalist principles have been. What do you do when you can't find guidance in philosophy? For me, this is the space of religion, of the great mystery. I look for metaphor, symbolism, to help me glimpse what I can't see by looking right at it. I often look to the natural world for guidance through these mysteries. Here, in response to this mystery, this dilemma, I want to suggest we can find some clarity in the natural process of growth. Consider a tree. Do you have a special tree in your life? If not, I recommend getting to know one. Most trees have seen some things. Rarely, if ever, will you find a tree that represents the ideal, with a smooth, straight trunk and a symmetrical, bushy green top. Maybe those aren't the interesting ones anyway. Trees have been hurt. They've been neglected or abused as children. They have suffered traumas, whether as saplings or later in life. A tree carries the marks made by its life experiences. It could also make the tree more susceptible to disease or more at risk in future storms. Those marks contribute to its individuality. There's a tree I walk past near my house. It grows on the parkway along a busy street. At some point, it was clearly hit by a car. There's a gash low down on the trunk, just about bumper height. The tree has continued to grow. The edges of the bark where it hit are sealed over. The gash is still there. The tree has healed itself. It's a great big tree. Healing does not mean it is gone and forgotten. It just means the tree has found a way to keep growing. Similarly, people suffer disasters, attacks, abuse. Trauma and abuse can drip slowly into someone's consciousness, or it can arrive suddenly like a car crash. This tree by our house lives in the shadow of much bigger trees nearby. It's bent all of its branches away from the larger neighbors to catch as much of the light as it can. That tree, that's my tree, it's being hurt by its larger neighbors every minute of every day. The tree reaches for its own space, like a child with neglectful, unthinking, or oblivious parents who fail to give the love and encouragement that child needs. There's a group of trees in the mountains of North Carolina where I go for UU women's retreats twice a year. This UU retreat center, which is called The Mountain, it's at the top of a mountain in the heart of the Appalachians. It's nestled in a stand of old-growth dwarf white oaks. This stand of trees that has a stunning view. Some of the trees are over 400 years old and are surrounded by their descendants. They also live under harsh conditions. Their roots spread over granite rock. Their branches and limbs are exposed to storms and wind. They're stunted. They're mature oaks with spindly trunks. They average no more than 20 feet high. Their trunks and branches have been bent so often they look like corkscrews. They call to mind the effects of generational and societal trauma. A family can pass down harm such that the hurts of the ancestors are felt for generations. Trees can be harmed in so many ways. The harms might be gradual, like growing in strong winds, or sudden, like a branch being ripped off. Their traumas might have been recent or a long time ago. They heal, they cope, they are imperfect. But they keep growing. Their problems, their challenges, their weaknesses, they're all there, and they are all a process of their growth. They're complete as they are, both in their being and their becoming. The trees show me dimly and through both the glory and limitations of metaphor, a path through this unresolved tension. How do we hold true both the idea of being whole, flaws and all, as well as the idea that we ought constantly to improve? We can grow. We don't grow by overcoming or fixing our problems such that our spirits are like new. That is both unattainable and undesirable. There is beauty in our scars. We heal as best we can, knowing that some scars will never fully heal. My exercise routine has dropped off lately in the way that these things happen sometimes, at least for me. So I decided that this summer I would keep running, but I wouldn't worry about increasing my speed. I've been consistently running about 13 or 14 minutes per mile, and if you're wondering, that is not fast. Recently, though, I have found to my surprise that my endurance has increased almost without my realizing it. While I gave up the goal of increasing my speed, I'm finding myself able to run farther than I had ever thought I would. It's not to say it's easy, especially when it's 90 degrees outside, but it's a delightful discovery. In deciding not to push the way that I thought mattered, I discovered another direction to grow. So that is my wish for you, to keep growing.
Good morning. My name is Judy Gallardo Grace, and I think I've just lost my hearing aid. Oh, it's there. Okay. I am a longtime member of this congregation, and I have been involved with 10,000 Villages since it opened in 2007, serving on the board for 9 of those years, and continuing to be a weekly volunteer. Each week, Unity Temple gives our Sunday offering to an organization that aligns with our UU values and is committed to bringing compassion, equity, and justice to the world. This week, our offering will go to 10,000 Villages. 10,000 Villages is a very old, in fact, the oldest fair trade organization in the United States. It empowers artisans in developing countries by offering them long-term contracts with a living wage that allows them to put their children in school, develop health care, and supporting organizations. When 10,000 Villages signs a contract with an artisan group, they give them 50% of the money up front. So in effect, it's like a microloan. And then upon delivery, they get paid the next 50% immediately, unlike other businesses where they might wait months. In doing this and helping them develop, they also help them develop their skills, honoring their traditions while offering suggestions that will make their products saleable in this country. 10,000 Villages is a wonderful, ethical organization, and I hope you find it in your hearts to give. You can donate by sending a check to Unity Temple with the name of the organization in the memo line, or by following instructions that are on your screen. Thank you very much.
Please join us for our next congregational song in the blue hymnal, number 1053, How Could Anyone?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that loving you is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
This is from Bless Yourself by Tricia Goodwin. Bless yourself the way the earth blesses herself, with growth and abundance and seed and dormancy and devastation and rebirth. Know how unimaginably expansive you are compared to the smallness of convention's constraints, how rooted you are in your own belovedness, even when you forget. May your remembering, reconnecting, reaching into the depths of your spirit, your heart's own rich soil, nourish your becoming. Now, please join me in the words of our chalice extinguishing. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
As I walk through this wicked world, searching for light in the darkness of insanity, ask myself, is all hope lost? Is there only pain and hatred and misery? And each time I feel like this inside, there's one thing I wanna know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? As I walked on through troubled times, my spirit gets so downhearted sometimes. So where are the strong? Who are the trusted? And where is the harmony, sweet harmony? 'Cause each time I feel like this inside, it just makes me wanna cry. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding?